Warning, this episode contains strong themes of death and illness and may be upsetting to some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
Are you going to see that big black knob in the front?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. Oh. See even that big black knob? You just have this way of saying things that I find...
How would you see it? How would you say it?
The mic? Hi, I'm Vaness Henry and I'm a 6'2 manifestor.
Hi, I'm Lo and I'm a 1-3 generator.
And this is my show.
Her show.
And you're watching
Oma
On the Roof with Grammy. Huxley loves when we do, and this is our show On the Roof with the Henrys. He loves that inclusive. Yeah, he loves that. It's gonna be a little bit heavier today though. We're gonna go into some ancestral trauma, but I like to keep things light and fun.
What?
I like if it's heavy and it gets there, I like to laugh.
Okay.
So,
I'm gonna have some coffee. Just gonna have a little frog.
do whatever you have to do, Mom. So, what was it like becoming a grandparent?
Amazing. It's all the pleasure with no work.
I felt it was very healing, like as the kid, watching you become the grandparent. I felt like I watched you go through a healing experience from you being a parent.
Well, when you're the parent, you don't have time to do a lot of the stuff that you'd like to do because it's like, okay, it's do the laundry, make dinner, get the kids to bed, da-da-da-da. But when you're a grandparent, you just enjoy those moments because you don't have to do the laundry. You don't have, when you have the kids, you just enjoy being with them.
Is it fair to say then that you don't necessarily feel you got to enjoy your kids?
Bang on.
So now that you're past that point, you don't have kids anymore, what does that feel like now as the parent who's like, man, I didn't enjoy my kids?
Well, I kind of feel like maybe you guys got ripped off because, you know, when you're kids, you just kind of...
I don't feel that.
Okay, I'm good. That's good.
Yeah,
I think a lot of parents might feel like that because I see the young parents nowadays and it's so rush, rush, rush. Go to this, go to that, go to this. I didn't like that.
Did you ever get swept up in that?
Not a lot because when your dad passed, then it was just me and it was like, pick one thing, that's all you're doing.
Let's get real for a second. What was that like? Being a single mother, you've just lost the love of your life.
I was pissed.
You're pissed?
I was angry.
Okay.
Because I had to do it all myself.
And you hate that?
Yeah.
You lost your buddy who like defined your heart.
Yes.
And so now you didn't have someone kind of encouraging, but you did have two kids who really championed you a lot.
And you guys were good. I could have had bad kids that really...
You think we were good kids?
Uh-oh.
Well, I've never heard anything.
I'm a level
Well,
with
you were sick, so you did, you know.
Okay, we haven't even got there in your story yet. So your husband's passed away. You're pissed because you got to raise these two kids on your own. You got to handle everything yourself. You're pissed, but it's safe to say you're in grief, and your grief kind of came out as maybe anger.
Yeah, I wasn't angry at any person.
Right.
I just felt angry that he checked out so quick.
But did he check out? He had cancer. It's not like he killed himself, you know?
No, exactly. Like now when I look back at it now, I feel that he probably left because he had to help you go through what you were going to go through.
So you think he maybe had to be on some other side or detached from his body?
Yeah.
I often think about what it would have been like for him to see me sick.
It'd have killed him.
Well, I mean,
it's hard to see your kid with any kind of sadness, illness.
like I can't imagine being the parent having a sick child. I really can't relate to you there as the kid who was sick, now becoming a parent.
See,
I can't imagine that.
I would rather be the sick one.
Yeah.
Because you know how it feels and what you're feeling and what you can take. But when you have to look at a child who's sick and they can't tell you why they don't want the blood transfusion or why they don't want...
Mom, I could not do a blood transfusion.
I get it now.
I could not have someone else's blood in my body. After having all that kind of poison in my body,
I know.
It just disturbed me too much. And having seen my dad have so many blood transfusions and then not be able to be a match with other people's blood at the end, it was shaping. It conditioned me. You know, I was like, I will not do that. That scares me. And I remember having all kinds of people come in and try to encourage me to do something. And it was like, I'm not doing that. Like my mind was made up.
I didn't really pressure you though.
No, but you checked in.
Hey.
Yeah.
Because you knew that it would restore my spirits and energy very quickly. But it's something about it just didn't feel right for me. I respect that you didn't force me to do that.
You had a very good oncologist and I sort of followed her lead. She didn't 100% say, you gotta do this. it would be better if you would.
And I was like, no.
And I know you were stubborn, and if anybody could do it, you could.
I love to live. I love life. You had some traumas. You had two of your closest people had cancer. One checked out, one survived, but you've really been taking care of people your whole life.
Yes.
What's that like?
I don't like taking care of people.
I know. You're now in a situation where you have a parent. She's aging. She's now in a home. She has dementia. And you're kind of like one of two primary caregivers for her, and she has 4 kids, but you stepped in to kind of be caring for her. How come? If you hate caring for people, how come you keep caring for people?
Because I care. And it's my mom.
And what's that like, watching your mom be sick?
It's not good.
No. What's it feel like for you? What's it feel like for you with your mom not well? It's your last surviving parent. That must be hard.
Yeah.
How does it feel watching your mom not remember?
I think it's gonna be me one day.
Does that scare you?
Yeah.
And you're scared to lose your mind and not remember things?
Not remember you.
You're scared to not remember me?
Yeah.
What else are you scared about?
Once you're there, you don't know though. Like, you're pleasantly confused. She doesn't know the difference. It's us.
Let's say you get to a place and you start forgetting things. That might happen, it might not. Your mom's fate is not necessarily
Maybe I'm doing it already.
Well, maybe.
That's why I challenge myself with designing, because then I have to remember things.
You're very scared to forget. But it sounds like some things would be okay to forget. You had some.
Oh, you don't forget that?
But you are trying to educate me about MAID? What's MAID?
Well, that's if it gets to the point.
No, don't tell me your reason yet.
Medical assisted in dying. Medical assistance in dying. Like, I think if I get to the point where I don't know my name, I don't know how to eat, I don't know how to go to the bathroom.
Heaven forbid someone else should have to take care of you.
Hell no.
Mom.
You want to change my butt?
I will absolutely change your butt. And if you know what, if I'm not—
I don't want you to change my butt.
If I'm not equipped to be the person to change your butt and I can't provide you with that care,
someone to change my
I will absolutely make sure
you'll
be taken care of. You'd rather just end your life? Mom.
It is ending slowly. So why make it go slow? You can edit that.
No, I'm gonna put a close-up on it. I'm challenging you, Mom, but you're faced with mortality in a different way. You've been very close to death your whole life. These people that you care for, you've watched a lot of people die. You've watched a lot of people live, but you've been in this role where you're constantly caring for the other, and it makes sense to me that you would feel some kind of way at the thought of someone else having to do what you've done for absolutely everybody. So I can understand why you would want to remove that. But you also have to understand it's healing for the child to care for the parent as well. Like, so for some kids, not that you have to base your decision on this, of course, but just hear me out. As the kid, it can feel very good to be there for your parent in that way. And I hear you that you're caring for your mom and it maybe doesn't feel good all the time because you don't have the support of every sibling, let's say. But you also get to have these really intimate moments with her kind of at the end. You have this time to process in a way. It can be for you. The child, you know? I hear you and that you'd want to be in control of that, and that makes total sense to me for you, I get that. But I've watched a lot of people die, I've watched a lot of kids die, and it's f***ed up. And there's something else that happens when your spirit extinguishes.
But to decide for yourself when you've had all your life, you're in your mid-80s, and you've had a wonderful life, and it's time to go.
Do you feel you've had a wonderful life?
Yeah. I like it all.
So you could check out at any time now?
No, I just like, I like to coast. Okay.
Oh, don't you pull the plug on me. I'll fight. I'll figure it out.
You have a spouse.
Hey.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So
you're off the hook.
I'm off the hook.
But it sounds like ending somebody else is not even what you're kind of talking about. You're talking about being in control of your own death.
Yes.
Yeah, you make up a good point. Like if we're going to go with my school of thought and we are God, we are humanity is the evolution of God. It's God having an experience on the playing field of life, whatever that means to you. We should be able to make that decision, right?
I think so. It's my body.
Well, is it?
Yeah.
You feel like you own this thing? You feel like you get this thing is like to be honest with you, as somebody who's been so close to death, I'm terrified to die. I want to live as long as possible, see as much as possible. I understand if you're suffering, but I've been close to death. I've been dying in my own body. And I can't even explain to you the will to live, how strong that is.
But let's say you're in your 70s.
Okay, right? I don't know,
and
right?
your cancer comes back, God forbid.
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard you say, I'm not doing treatment again.
Mm-hmm.
But now your kid wants you to.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do?
I'm doing it for my kid. I totally understand. I've answered that before, because going through the act of chemotherapy and radiation is so traumatic and so hard on the body. And I do think there are other ways that you could perhaps treat that. But now that I have a child and wanting to see him grow up and experience things, I would do anything, whatever I had to do to stay there with him.
So let me ask you a question.
I hate questions, but okay.
Do you not think your dad did everything?
I think he did. For sure.
But he still
died, and I still had to see that kind of gruesome end of his death. Like, his head was caved in, his body had lost like half its mass. He wasn't remembering me. He would say ridiculous things. One time, many times, he would just forget to get dressed and he didn't know what he was doing.
So do you think at one point, like when he got that bad, that it could ever switch?
What do you mean?
That he could get better?
What do you mean?
Like, do you think that, like, after they stopped treatments, because there was nothing else they could do, let's say?
What's that like, sitting in the hospital
hard.
and they're like, there's nothing else we can do?
I think I had sort of prepared myself, because you know when you're stage 4, 20 years ago, that was like a death sentence. Nowadays, some people come back from stage 4 because they have made improvements and, you know.
The grandparents wanted you to keep the dying father from their kids, like not let the kids know their father was dying. So what was that like?
Well, we decided jointly that we would tell you. So we were on the same page. We were usually 99% of the time on the same page. And then by the time he got really bad, then it was pretty much me making the decisions. Once the cancer had affected his brain, then it sort of becomes like dementia, which fascinates me, because it's like,
Terrifies you as well.
It is, but it's like, how do you forget? Like, can you imagine everything that you have in your head right now that you can't remember?
What?
And then you have a moment of clarity when you remember, and it must be like freaky as hell.
Must be scary. My biggest fear is losing my mind.
What?
I'm a mental person. I'm like heart and head. And who am I if I don't have this? Derek thinks I'm so intelligent, and I'm just like, why?
You are saying
That's a fact.
This is not what was told to me when I was young.
it's not what I said.
No, nobody discouraged me, but there was a big emphasis on my like creativity in the arts. There was never like, oh, you're intelligent, you're smart. Like, do you know what I'm saying? So when like my partner thinks I'm so smart, I'm like, what? Okay. So he kind of shaped, I had to change my kind of worldview. So I don't really think about it, but where I feel it is like, wow, if I didn't have something to offer there, it's not quite what I want to say. But if I lost that, oh wow, I don't really have much else to offer the other. I don't know. So it really scares me. But I think realistically, something that I see a potential that I might go through if I live long enough with Derek, which is a privilege in and of itself. One of us will likely lose our minds. And that's very devastating to think you're all of a sudden connecting with your partner and they don't remember.
Yeah.
They don't remember they don't remember loving you. They don't remember all the experiences. I can see huge grief in that.
Yeah.
So falling in love with someone is actually a devastating experience, because there's going to come a point when you're separated.
Mm-hmm.